ओम सहनाववतु सह भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधेत्तमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुदेव महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om to everyone else. Till yesterday, we saw up to Sutra 13. Today we will start from Sutra 14. Lokopi tavadeva लोकोऽपि तावदेव भोजनादिव्यापारस्त्वाशरीरधारणावधि भोजनादिव्यापारस्त्वाशरीरधारणावधि. First I will split the sutra, then we will explain word after word. Lokah api tavat eva भोजनादि व्यापारः भोजनादि व्यापारः तु आशरीर धारणावधि आशरीर धारणावधि. So I will repeat again the splitted sutra. लोकः अपि तावत् एव भोजनादि व्यापारः भोजनादि व्यापारः तु आशरीर धारणावधि आशरीर धारणावधि. Now, individual meaning of each word. Lokah api. Here, lokah means laukika, jagatika, transactional, behavior, transactional action or something. Tavat eva, up to that. Aharadi bhojanadi vyaparaha means aharadi karma, eating, sleeping, etc. Tu, here tu means kintu, but a sharira dharana vadhi, until then that body will exist. Now I will come directly in the sutra. Our spiritual life is a very, very normal life. Our spiritual life is a very normal life. Unnecessarily superimpose anything else in this life and don't make this spiritual life an absurd thing, an abnormal lifestyle. Don't make it. Our all acharyas tell like that. It's more simple than the any other simple lifestyle. It is more easier lifestyle than any easy lifestyle what we think. It's more normal lifestyle than what we think normal. There is no such capsule or pill that you will swallow it and overnight you will be realized or something will happen. Something miracle we will see. Because in our life, mainly when spiritual life is concerned, we always expect that there will be some miracles. We will blow and one flower will come. We will do something like that, the smoke will come. It's in cinema, it is possible. But in normal life, spiritual life is a very simple and normal life. Very, very simple life. Unnecessarily don't make it complicated. Here Naradji is telling that unless and until you are abide in this supreme love with the proper understanding, you have to continue all your daily activities like walking, sleeping, eating, talking. What about the sutras we have discussed earlier? It is told that our intention, our sense of perception will be different. Not like that spiritual person, I have started spiritual life, so I will start walking on my hand and my legs will be up. It's not like that. Because what is the reason of our all suffering is worldly bondage. And that bondage comes through the attachment. And that attachment is not physical or external. All our bondage, sense of bondage, superimposition of bondage, false superimposition of attachment due to ignorance, and that is completely inner matter, inside matter. So there is no such thing in exist in external world. So we should not change unnecessarily our external lifestyle. We have to, what we have to change, the internal perception, internal attitude, that the things have been discussed throughout the earlier sutras and in next sutras also. Some glimpses are there over there. So In Gita also, fifth sloka, Bhagavan is telling, Nahi kasyit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit. Not a single moment is there in our life where people are without any action. So we take breathe, we sleep, or anything else, it is under the spell of karma. So because of the protection of this body, because of this protection of this very body, we have to protect it nicely with a proper understanding, with the knowledge that what we are doing, why we are doing. That why is a very important thing in our life. Now the question will be that throughout last 13 slokas, we have tried to tell that don't pay attention in any other thing, don't pay attention in any other thing except your beloved one, except the God. But now in this sutra, why are you telling that you have to protect your body? If we don't look after our body, if we become indifferent about our body, then what will happen? Yes, a lot of things will happen. Because this sarira is sadhana mandir, sadhana kshetra, the temple of spiritual practice. This is the means also to reach our point, ultimate point. So don't do Atma Hanana. Don't do Atma Hanana. So in English, Atma Hanana is suicide, committing suicide. But here, you know, if you study and think deeply, then you will find there is no proper translation of our Indian language because we think in a different way. Here, Atmanam Hananam. Atma here means Jivatma. Atma here means not only Jivatma, sometimes Atma means Sharira. So here Atma Hananam means killing our own body. So Shastra says, who doesn't protect his or her body nicely, which is the temple of our beloved Lord, actually he is or she is committing Atmahananam or suicide. In other grantha also we will see, suppose Kripana. Kripana means miserly person. But in Bhashya, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji has written Te Kripanaha, Kripanaha. Why? According to Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, who doesn't practice spiritual life, spiritual practices in this very life, they are actually Kripanaha. So here Kripanaha doesn't mean miserly person. So likewise, here Atmahananam means killing up that Sharira. Here Atma is Sharira. So But the thing is, our attitude should be different. It doesn't mean that we will be very much body conscious. The thing is, the basic health rules should be maintained. The basic health rule should be maintained. So the thing is, otherwise, if the body doesn't permit me, then we know that we can't sit for meditation also. So the Swami Brahmananda ji in his Brahmananda Prasanga, Sadhana Prasanga, he has commented a very sensitive thing, regarding this. That as a prostitute looks after her body, likewise, protect her body, likewise, a devotee also will do. Why? If a prostitute knows that if my Rupa Lavanya, my beauty goes, my profession will be stopped. Likewise, if a devotee's health issues come, be sure spiritual life will be hampered heavily. We know very well, when we are suffering from little headache, how long we can meditate on God. If we are having some body ache, how long we sit, how long we think happily. Always think that we have to be fit physically, mentally, socially, economically also. If there are any other thinking comes, then that thinking will be disturbed, because we have to meet our beloved. We have to smile for him. We have to decorate for him. We have to decorate ourselves. Isliye, if you see for that, in Bhagavatam, what we see, that gopis are decorating themselves before going to meet Lord Krishna. They are combing their hair very nicely, they are dressing up, they are putting up bindis. Their beauty is becoming divine beauty, because they are going to meet to their beloved one, to their self. Our attitude should be like that. As we have got this body, we will refund this body likewise. Suppose someone give you something else to protect, will you not protect it? Is it not your responsibility to protect it and to return it back as you were given? Likewise, this body was given to us to do sadhana. After a long term, long lives, spiritual practice and prayer, intense prayer, with this, we got this very body. Durlabham trayamevaitat devanugraha hetukam manushyatam mumukshutvam mahapurusha shamsrayah. This is the very rarest thing we have got. By the grace of our beloved Lord, that very human body. What can think? What can discriminate? Not a single animal can discriminate, can think likewise, can't do vichara. That is why this human life is so rare. We should not waste it. We should not go it in vain. We should protect it. But nowadays people do very little. People are very much body conscious now. But our Bhakti Shastra is condemning that also. Because we are preparing our body because of only one reason, as we can do better bhoga, better enjoyment, physical enjoyment. Naradji has not told for this reason. People go to gym as if they become beautiful. They can enjoy more and more, like the thinking of King Yayati, that who wanted to do physical enjoyment for long years. Nowadays, a lot of institutions you will find in your city, a lot of institutional advertisement you will see in the internet that they are teaching meditation. What a dangerous thing. But do you know why people are interested in doing meditation? Because they have realized that if we want to do proper bhoga, proper enjoyment, that bodily enjoyment, we need a concentration. So they enroll their name into the institution where meditations are taught because of better bhoga. Naradji has not told these things. Naradji's main aim is our whole life should be dedicated to the path of Lord, to the path of our beloved. We have to be fit. We have to do yoga as if we can sit for hours. We have to keep ourselves fit as if no problems arise while we will do prayer, worship, japam, etc. So main thing is attitude. The actions are same. The external things will be same. A sadhaka is spiritual practitioner and a whole worldly person does meditation, but their content of meditation is different, attitude is different. That is here meant in this sutra, that our attitude should be changed. The whole spiritual life is an attitudinal game. People do in at our family, we have seen Bengali Brahmin family, so much superstitions. In India, I have roamed around. They are little bit less, little bit. Don't touch this, don't do this, don't. So much limitations. And they are so much distant from the main theme of spirituality, main theme of religiousness. And they consider it out of ignorance that this is the only spiritual life. They think the rituals are the spirituality. Then they do fasting left and right. Every day some Ekadashi, Dadashi, Trayadashi, Sankranti. Unnecessarily they do like that. Mainly Bengali women you will find. After 45 years, 50 years, they are just gone. They have no strength to sit. They become the tank of diseases because of irregular life in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality. Narad ji has condemned that. We have to justify it in our all actions. Our whole life should be centered in spirituality, in spiritual love, in divine love. That is the impact of this sutra, that never neglect your body, protect it as the means of your better spiritual practice. Your all actions, please continue, but always be conscious that they should not be against of spiritual life. We should not take up those projects in our life which may create a distance within me and my beloved one and the holy love. Consciousness is our sadhana. Consciousness is our actual spiritual practice. Because we know a lot, but we forget, like Karna. When the actual time comes, we forget all those teachings. So being conscious in our life, spiritual life, according to the scriptural teachings is the only sadhana, is only the means of getting this beloved one, is only spiritual practice, is being conscious, conscious, conscious. That is why, the best blessings of Sri Ramakrishna on 1st January, which is observed as Kalpataru Utsav now around the world. People go to Ramakrishna Mission or any other Ramakrishna temple or in Kali temple also. That it is a Kalpataru day, wish fulfilling day. Because Sri Ramakrishna told that ask, ask me whatever you need, I will give you today. But nobody could ask anything else. Then do you know what Sri Ramakrishna blessed? তোমাদের চৈতন্য হোক. You become conscious. That was the blessings of Sri Ramakrishna. That was his prayer also. Because consciousness is the only terminating factor in spiritual life. Because forgetfulness is our actual disease. We forget ourselves. We forget our identity that we are spiritual seeker. We are not a man, we are not a woman, we are not a girl, we are not a boy. We are not the husbands or wives or sons or daughters or anyone's, any relatives. We are sadhakas, we are spiritual practitioners. That should be our actual identity and we forget it. Consciousness. Become conscious, become conscious, become conscious. Now, 15th sutra. Tallakshani vachyante, tallakshani vachyante, नानामत भेदात, नानामत भेदात. So, tat lakshanani vachyante nana matvedat. So if we make it in prose order, it will be tat lakshanani matabhedat nana vachyante. So tal lakshanani or tat lakshanani means the characteristics or the attribute of bhakti, the attributes of divine love. Vachyante, it is in passive voice. Vachyante is told here. By whom it is not told? It's told here by the parampara, by the lineage. What it is? Matavhedat, Nana Matavhedat. A lot of acharyas, the teachers of bhakti school, they have given the definition of this supreme love, and Naradji is going to tell that. So after that, we will get a concrete definition of devotion, because Naradji has mentioned those acharyas who are very, very renowned in the field of bhakti, in the school of bhakti. So our 16th sutra, Pujadishvanuraga, Pujadishvanuraga iti iti Parasharyah, Parasharyah. So if I split it into Sandhi, Pujadishu, Pujadishu, Anuragah, Anuragah, iti, iti, Parasharyah, Parasharyah. Pujadishu, Puja Adishu means Puja Adishu. What is that Puja Adi? Means worship, prayer, repetition of holy names, japam, upasana, mental prayer, everything. Means worship and related to that, anuragah, priti or akarshan, the sense of attraction, the sense of love, the sense of attachment. Iti means bhakti. Parasharyah, the son of Rishi or sage Parashar, has told that. So you know very well who is the son of sage Parashar. He is nothing but Bhagavan Vedavyas ji. So what Bhagavan Vedavyas ji has told, Bhagavan Vedavyas authored 18 Puranas. 18 Puranas. And among them, Bhagavatam is the best. People say like that. Panditas say like that. Wise people say like that. And it is the best. Shresthatama. In all Puranas, we will find the glory of Vaidhi Puja, some rituals, and some worship depicted in what process you will worship which Lord. It is depicted in Puranas. So Puranas are the books where the puja worship is glorified, because there is a logic that if you do everyday worship an idol, we feel a relationship. I will give you a very inferior example regarding this. That I knew one lady, one amma, who did not like any fur, the hair, animal hair, She never could touch any animal in her life. But her son was an animal lover. So one day, her son purchased a dog. And by seeing that, that lady was just about to faint. And she never used to touch. And because of that lady, that dog used to stay on the rooftop, on the patio for whole day. But in every lady's heart, a mother resides. One day what happened? A rain came. So that mother thought that dog, that little dog, little puppy will be drenched. So she took 3-4 saris and went to the rooftop and cover the puppy and pluck it up and throw it on the floor. And in that manner, it was continuing. She used to cook for the dog and everything else she used to do. You know what happened? After 6 months, when that son came from the college, entered into the bedroom, he saw that on a same bed, his mom is sleeping and the dog is sleeping just beside her mom and lifting her leg on her. Don't extend the example. What I mean to say, what we really don't like from our heart, but if we continue our journey, the love generates automatically. Likewise, Lord is the supreme thing. He is the base of everything else. So if we do Sangha, if we make a relationship with Lord with some various actions taught by scriptures and teachers, then of course there will be a natural love That is the impact of this sutra. So the thing is, because when the spiritual practitioner is in the first step, and nowadays, you know very well that our lifestyle was different. In our childhood, there was no any storm or grabbing of external world so much. There was no television, no cable channel, no internet. So we could preserve our culture. But nowadays, the young boys and girls, they don't know about it. And Western influencers so much. My Western students, sometimes friends, they ask me that how we will generate love within for the God who is not visible, not audible. So Ramakrishna has given a very nice example because he was once asked by an Indian that what we will do. Then Ramakrishna told, whom you love too much in this very world. And that lady told that I love the most a goat, what I pet. So Ramakrishna told, think this is the embodiment of, this is the very embodiment of this beloved Lord. Impose godlyhood in it. So that is the thing. That impose a relationship, impose your favorite person, favorite love thing, one thing only, and behave with it like a God. If anyone can't grasp or understand the concept of God, but who are already practice it throughout their life, this suggestion is not for them. So that is the impact of the Sutra 16th. Now Sutra 17. Kathadishu iti gargaha. Kathadishi. Kathadishu iti gargaha. Katha adishu. The divine story, divine talk on our beloved Lord. Anuragaha, attraction. Iti Gargaha. Gargacharya, Garga Muni, sage Garga, who was the teacher of Lord Krishna, he tells that always listening to the divine play of Lord and talking about that divine love, that divine person, divine Lord is bhakti. Means ईश्वर का नाम श्रवण कीर्तन के, श्रवण कीर्तन ही भक्ति है. निरंतर श्रवण कीर्तनम, nirantar singing the glory of Lord, listening to the glory of Lord is nothing but bhakti or love or pure devotion. This is the matam of, this is the explanation of definition of bhakti of Gargacharya. So listening to the various incarnations of Lord, what he did, why he did, what a beautiful, and be attached with that, be attracted with that. So, you know, suppose anyone loves, if anyone wants to love Chinmaya Mission or Ramana Upadesha or Ramakrishna Upadesha, it is told that we should read the life of our Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji or Sri Ramakrishna or Ramana Maharshi, because through lifestyle we will be passionate to the person. So whoever did Sangha, whoever were with those persons, go to them, listen from them that how was that person in her childhood, in his childhood, what he used to do, how he used to eat, how he used to behave with the people. These are all divine. Those are all Daiva. So उन महापुरुष के पास जिन्होंने रहा था, उनके पास जाओ, सुनो उस महापुरुष का जीवन चरित्र, कैसा था उनका बचपन, कैसे उन्होंने खेला, कैसे उन्होंने खाया, कैसे उन्होंने बातचीत किया, कैसे उन्होंने नाचा, कैसे उन्होंने गाना गाया. In that way, love will be generated inside. That is the teaching of Garga Muni, sage Garga, regarding bhakti. Then, Sutra number 18. Atmaratya virodhena, Atmaratya virodhena, iti shandilyaha, iti shandilyaha, Atmarati. Atmarati avirodhena, avirodhena, iti shandilyah, iti shandilyah. So, Atmarati is love, compassion, attachment towards the Atma. On the first class, I told you that Narada Bhakti Sutra is not only one book on devotion. A lot of great sages have written Bhakti Sutra. And Shandilya Bhakti Sutra is another famous Bhakti Sutra, but it is little difficult in language, in concept. It is a very advanced text. So, what about here Naradji has depicted what sage Shandilya has told about bhakti. According to Shandilya, think your beloved one as yourself. ईश्वर को अपना आत्मा रूप जानकर उस आत्मा के ऊपर अनुराग का नाम भक्ति है, और उस अनुराग के पथ में जो भी विघ्न आ जाए उसी वस्तु का त्याग ही भक्ति है. So we will find two things in this sutra. One is, first consider yourself as Lord, or consider the Lord or the beloved one as your own self. And be compassionate, be loving be attached, be attracted, be passionate towards that own self as God alone. That is bhakti. Another thing he has mentioned, that reject immediately which are the hindrance in this love. That is also bhakti. So it is something different definition we are getting than other sutras. Like in Vivek Churamani, Acharya Shankara has told, Bhakti eva garyashi. See, he was the Acharya of non-dual philosophy, the highest Acharya of non-dual philosophy, and he is telling Bhakti eva gariyasi. Bhakti is the best means among all spiritual practices. But he didn't forget to mention the definition of very bhakti. There he told, Swatmanu Anushandhanam Bhakti. What is bhakti? That Anushandhanam, self-inquiry. The bhakti is nothing but self-inquiry. So according to Acharya Shankara, bhakti is the best. But what is bhakti? Bhakti is nothing but self-inquiry. So here, self doesn't mean ego. कच्चा आमी नहीं है, कच्चा मैं नहीं, पक्का मैं. हम लोग जो मैं और मेरा में फंस जाता हूं, वो कच्चा मैं है, कच्चा मेरा. Not unripened I or not unripened mind. It is verily matured, verily ripened I is talked about in this sutra. And then only we will be a real bhakta when we will enjoy Atmarati, the passionate action within me and myself, between me and myself. Atmarati, the literal meaning is Maithuna. In Tantra, you know, there they do Panchamakara sadhana. And without Acharya, if we study that also, we will be misguided. And most of the people who practice this noble Shastra Tantra, the 99.99% people are misguided and they misuse this scripture. There also Maithuna means passionate action between me and myself, me and myself. The same thing is depicted in this sutra. Said Sandilya has mentioned is that Atmarati avirodhena iti Shandilya. That Atmarati is required. A passionate love should be generated between me and my beloved. And here my beloved, most beloved is nothing but myself alone. And avirodhena means what is the contradictory in this path, what creates hindrances, hurdles, obstructions in this supreme love affair, in this holy love affair. reject it immediately. That is the impact of this sutra. Now, what Narada has concluded it, that we will see tomorrow. So, because a lot of concepts we have told today, I could finish it, but everything will be jumbled. That is why I have stopped here. Hari Om Tat Sat. If anyone has any question, you can ask. If anyone has any question regarding today's class, please ask me. I am ready to answer. Otherwise, I will conclude the class. One thing I just want to mention. Today is very special day for my mother also, because on that very day, on 14th May, few decades ago, Supreme Brahman, out of grace, was expressed through this very body. So today is that day. Thank you.
प्रणाम जी, नमस्कार.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Swami.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Swami.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Swami
Happy
ji.
birthday, Swami
Thank
ji.
you.
Pranam.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Happy birthday, Swami ji.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Happy
Hari Om.
birthday.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swami ji.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Happy birthday जी. अच्छा
Hari
अच्छा
Om.
चीज खाइएगा, मीठा मीठा चीज खाइएगा कुछ करा.
हरिओम स्वामी जी. Happy birthday. स्वामी जी, हम लोग सबको आपके लिए गाएंगे जन्मदिन में.
Okay, okay, okay. You sing.
स्टार्ट करो अनुराधा.
Happy birthday, Swamiji.
Happy birthday.
जन्मदिन
Hai Priya
शंतनु से प्रार्थनायं
भवतु जीवनं तव भवतु सार्थकं जीवनं तव जन्मदिनमिदं सर्वदामुदं प्रार्थयामहे
भवतु सदायुति
ईश्वर सदा चाय लेके आएगा.
Thank you everyone else. I pray to Lord.
जया जीवनं तव
भवतु जन्मदिनमिदं
ऐ प्रिय सखे शान्तनु सुते सर्वदामुदम्. Happy birthday to you, Swami ji.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you,
Pray
Swami.
to Lord for your all, for your spiritual upliftment, for your spiritual divine love. I
Thank
pray
you,
to
Swami ji.
Pujya Gurudev as he blesses all of you.
Thank you. Hari
Happy
Om.
birthday, revered Swamiji. Happy birthday, revered Swamiji.
स्वामी जी से पूर्णमदम
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamidam Vahishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. We will meet again tomorrow at the same time. Hari Om. That's
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.